Hi lovers, should sex be an obligation in a relationship? What's your take? You're welcome to Ease Desire by Tiwa Says, and I am your pleasure coach. So we all can agree that sex is good, sex is fun. Apart from its many health benefits, it's also important in a relationship because it helps to bond and build a solid relationship. So in a situation where it now becomes an obligation, a chore, so to say, then there's a problem. So this is not to say that sex is all a relationship is about. But trust me, it is a defining factor in a relationship. It determines whether the relationship is going to grow or it's going to break. Because it is a form of communication between partners, and it also helps bonding. So if you are not communicating that way, it doesn't help. It is not healthy for the relationship, even if there are other things, because there are a combination of things that make a relationship solid, and sex is a very, very crucial one at that. So if it is not there, then there's a problem. So what are the things that can make sex an obligation in a relationship? So one of the things that can make sex an obligation in a relationship is resentment. If there's an underlying factor, if there's a disagreement between partners and they are not talking about it, this begins to create resentment in the relationship, and then it affects the sex, So especially for the woman, when a woman has resentment built up in her towards her partner, probably because of a misunderstanding, this usually affects the sexual relationship between them. Another reason why sex can become an obligation in a relationship is when both partners do not understand their love language. When there's a miscommunication, if the female partner is expecting to be shown love in a certain way and the male partner is not getting the cue, the female partner might feel discouraged because everything is intertwined and it affects each other. If a woman is not happy in a relationship, definitely it's going to affect the sex life. Same goes for the man. If the man too is not feeling valued, or if he's feeling that, his partner is not appreciating him or is not loving him, showing him love the way he wants to be loved or to be shown love, this will definitely affect their sex life, and it will make the sex more like an obligation, more like something you have to do instead of something you want to do. One other reason that makes sex an obligation in a relationship is sexual incompatibility. If partners are not sexually compatible, definitely they are not going to have a good sex life. They are just going to be doing it for doing sake. If the partner is one that likes sex, if the male partner likes sex a certain way, and the female partner is not giving it to him the way he likes, or the female partner wants sex a certain way and she's probably shy or afraid to let her male partner know that, okay, this is what I like. Okay, no, I like doggy. I don't really like missionary style, or I like oral sex, and the male partner is not ready to give oral sex. Differences like that can cause their sexual life to be boring, and this will make it an obligation, so to say. They'll just be having sex for the sake of having sex because they are in a relationship, and not because they are both craving to have each other, to be with each other. And this is why communication is important. I'm always talking communication. Communicate with your partner. If you communicate with your partner, you will be able to decipher how your partner wants to be loved, how your partner wants to be touched, what kind of sex your partner likes. And when that is done, there will be little or no problem in the relationship. Stress is also one factor that can take the fun out of sex. If one or both partners are stressed, it can make their sex life boring because they are not putting in as much effort as they would have put in, because they are stretched all about. They are thinking about other things, stressed about work, stressed about money, and many other things. And this will definitely affect sex. So how do you know if sex has become an obligation in your relationship? Well, the first way to know is that you are probably not enjoying the sex anymore. You're just in it for the routine sake. It has become like, something you just have to do, like waking up, brushing your teeth, or having your bath. It's not something that you're really craving or something that you are really wanting. You're just doing it for doing sake. One other way to know is that, either one or both partners is no longer initiating sex. If you're not initiating sex, or your partner is not initiating sex, so you are doing long periods without sex, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months. I don't know how people do that, but people do that. And when that begins to happen in a relationship, then there's a problem somewhere. Also, when you rather masturbate than have sex with your partner, there is a problem. It shows that the sex has become something of a duty. You are no longer enjoying it, and that needs to be addressed. And then if you can't wait for the sex to be over, like you are involved, you are having sex, and then you just can't wait for it to be over, you are no longer interested in the pleasure it's giving or the excitement, then there's a problem. So having said all this, it is still possible for you to regain passion in your relationship. It doesn't mean that you have to end the relationship. There are things that you can do to still regain the passion and the fire in your relationship, and especially in your sex life. So the first way would have to be communication. I will keep saying that communication, it is very, very important in any relationship. You communicate with your partner. Let your partner know your needs. Let your partner know what you want. Let your partner know how you want it. Don't just keep quiet. Your partner is not going to know if you do not say. Your partner is not a seer. So you have to communicate with your partner to tell your partner what you want, and then to also hear from your partner what your partner wants, and then what is lacking, so that amendments can be made. Also, you have to spend time together. Spend time with your partner, because sex, like I always say, sex does not start in the bedroom. Especially for a woman, you have to sensitize a woman. You don't just walk up to a woman and just want to have sex. It doesn't work that way for most women. It's different from the men, because you just have an erection and you want to have sex. But women are emotional beings, so a lot of things is put into the act of having sex. So you have to prepare her, put her in the mood. If you want to have sex, talk to her during the day, be nice, give hints, do a lot of things to get her ready and put her in the mood, so that the sex can be good when you do have it. You also have to be romantic and affectionate, and this is for the men. You have to be romantic and affectionate towards your female partner. Touch your female partner, kiss your female partner, show affection, not only at the point that you want to have sex. Touch her during the day, kiss her during the day, hug her, hold her, cuddle. Not every cuddle or holding or making out has to end in sex. It's just a build-up. When you do that during the day and then eventually you have the sex, it makes the sex more meaningful and more exciting and fun for both of you. Also, you should settle long-standing misunderstandings and disagreements. Like I said earlier, resentments also affect your sex life. So when there's a resentment between both partners or one of the partners towards the other partner, it will definitely show in the bedroom. So when you settle your disputes, talk it out, make up and make out, it makes the sex more meaningful. Foreplay is key. I mentioned earlier that, women are not wired the way men are wired. Women need a lot of work to get in the mood for sex. So men should spend more time in foreplay with women. Some of these women may not respond as you want in sex, or may just resign their fate to sex and just have sex for having sex sake, not just for enjoying it, because the men are not giving enough foreplay. The men just think, oh, because they have a hard on, they just go in. But it doesn't work like that for the women. The women want the foreplay, the preparing, to build up the excitement so that the sex is more meaningful for the women. So foreplay is key. So I know there's this unspoken rule that sex is the right of a man and it's a woman's responsibility to give it to him. But it should not be so. Both partners should want and crave sex, and a woman should derive satisfaction from the sex as much as the man. After all, it's a communication thing. It's a way for partners to communicate with each other. So it shouldn't be a thing of one person is communicating to the other. It should be a two-way thing. Both parties communicating. And it's also a way to show love. We know that men are sexual beings, they like sex, and it's been said that the way a man shows love is to have sex. But that is not the same for a woman. A woman needs more nurturing, needs acts of service and other things for her to feel loved and wanted. And in return, you know, she's better able to respond in the bedroom. So if you think that your sex life is in a rut, so to say, this is your cue to have a discussion about it. And if you have enjoyed this video, why don't you click the like button and also subscribe so that you can get notifications for our future videos. And I'll be seeing you.